Voodoo is very prevalent in Princess and the Frog, from turning Naveen and Tiana into frogs, Lawrence into Prince Naveen, and granting visions through a bathtub of gumbo. Okay, admittedly, Mama Odie's use of voodoo definitely doesn't seem to line up with the rest of the movie's use of voodoo. We know that Dr. Facilier makes deals with his friends on the other side in exchange for his voodoo magic, and that most of his magic turns out worse for his customers. But what about Mama Odie? What is her price for her voodoo? What are the side effects to her magic? The truth behind her magic might surprise you. Hi, my name is Josh Quinn, and I do Disney theories every week on this channel. So if you enjoy those kind of videos, be sure to like this one and subscribe for more Disney theories. So what's the deal with Mama Odie's magic? Her magic is definitely different from Dr. Facilier's. When we first see her, Mama Odie is using a very bright magical light coming from a torch, which is the exact opposite of Dr. Facilier's shadow voodoo. However, when Lewis talks about Mama Odie, he seems frightened of her, calling her the voodoo queen of the Bayou. Well, that is up until Prince Naveen convinces him to go see her about turning into a human. So what exactly is the difference between the two of them? Well, in order to see what the difference is, we have to look at the source of their magic. Voodoo. Voodoo is a religion which believes in a single deity, which is a distant entity. However, there are other minor entities called Iwa, or spirits, that can be served by those who practice voodoo. The spirits are divided into nations, with two primary nations being the largest. They are the Rada nation, which are seen as the sweet-tempered and righteous spirits, and then the Petu. The Petu Iwa are seen as the violent, forceful, and they're typically associated with fire. They're also believed to be aggressive and related with issues like money. Given that voodoo has two different nations of Iwa, which have completely opposite characteristics, I think it's very easy to see where Mama Odie and Dr. Facilier are able to pull two completely opposite magics from the same source. Dr. Facilier, on one hand, has made deals with the Petu Iwa in exchange for personal gain. We see that Dr. Facilier is focused on power and money, striving to control all of New Orleans regardless of the price. Mama Odie, on the other hand, deals with the Rada spirits in exchange for helping others navigate life. Mama Odie is more focused on showing people what they need in order to navigate life, rather than trying to trick them for some benefit of her own. Okay, so we have the source of magic is still voodoo on both sides. They're serving two completely separate spirits, but what about the payment that goes into getting these services or getting these magics? We see that Dr. Facilier has to promise souls or have some measure of payment for his magic. So what about Mama Odie? Well, in the voodoo religion, different Iwas require different sacrifices. The Iwa Danbala, for example, requires white foods, especially eggs, while Legba requires that any offerings given to them be grilled on a fire. The Iwa that you're making a deal with or making an offering to would determine what type of sacrifice you were required to give. It's very possible that for Dr. Facilier's more minor parlor tricks, like the hair powder that he provides or the different shadow tricks that he's able to perform on Lawrence, they require a smaller token of sacrifice, a smaller sacrifice than, say, the control of New Orleans, which we see that he's promising several souls in exchange for. However, given that different Iwas require different offerings, I think Mama Odie's Iwa has a much more reasonable appetite. In fact, I believe we can see the food offering that Mama Odie makes for her Iwa. Deep in the bayou, in a boat in a tree, there was a bathtub filled with delicious gumbo. In fact, some of the first magic we see Mama Odie perform once she returns home is from this large tub of gumbo. I believe that Mama Odie has contacted an Iwa that requires gumbo as the food sacrifice, and in exchange grants Mama Odie visions and magic that she can use to help others discover themselves in life. In complete contrast to Dr. Facilier, Mama Odie has never once used her magic to benefit and further herself, and instead seeks only to use it to help those around her. But what do you think? Does Mama Odie pay for her voodoo in gumbo? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check my other video on Princess and the Frog, where I went over how much Tiana probably spent on her restaurant. If you enjoyed this video and want more like it, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell. I do Disney theories every week, and I will see you all next week. Take care.